Hi Janice, it's Tuesday and this is take 30. Take 30 because we do these in one takes, like one shot, and I'm having a hard time not rambling today. Apparently I'm distracted. 8 minutes is the cap for our videos. I would love them to be shorter than that, but since sometimes we have a lot to say or a lot of things to talk about, 8 minutes. If it's longer than 8 minutes, I'm not watching it. I'm going to insist that it be redone. I know that last night I was writing you to make one, but I didn't mean you had to do it right this instant. I was teasing. You should have been able to tell that by the tone of the texts. Like the way I worded things and stuff. It was kind of in troll language. I wasn't serious. If you couldn't make a video easily that night, you could have easily said to me, I'll do it tomorrow because of this, and I would have been fine with it. I know I don't always seem like I mean it like that, but really I do. Because I want these videos to be as concise as possible, because I know that you probably get distracted when I make a 10-minute video where I'm rambling, and I know I get slightly distracted when you make a 10-minute video and you start rambling at some point. Because I've heard you say the same thing a whole bunch. Good job on your humanities thing. Lucretia is a terribly hard story to try to sell, just because of the subject matter. It's a little taboo. There's a couple operas that are based off the story of Lucretia, either concrete, this is the story of Lucretia, or just, based loosely off of it. And to be honest, I can't think of any of them being wildly successful, mainly because it's a really hard story to sell. But it sounds like you and your group did a good job because you were able to figure out what points needed to stay in order for the story to stay as authentic as possible while knowing where to cut all the fat so that people weren't like, oh my god, this is a very dirty story. Because it is kind of a dirty story, and usually when you get done reading it or whatever, you feel like taking a shower. And so it sounds like you did a really good job of being able to balance the raunchiness of the story. Raunchy isn't the right word. The taboo nature of the story, along with able to keep it interesting enough for the audience to want to watch it and not make them feel like they need to go take a shower. And I think that part of that is your writing. I keep harping on this, and it's kind of because I think that creative writing helps in so many ways that people don't realize. Like for you, you want to go into marketing. Marketing involves helping people sell a product. Usually selling a product means you have to be able to tell a story about said product. Creative writing allows you to tell a story more concisely and more interestingly, and if you continue to do that on your own, or maybe take a few creative writing classes along with it, or whatever, you will be able to do a better job at it, and I think that's important. I also think that creative writing helps just exercise your brain, which is why I think that while you can't do NaNoWriMo in November, that maybe sometime in the spring or in the summer when you have a little bit more time on your hands, I mean obviously with work and everything, and if you plan on going to school even through the summer, it might be a little more difficult, but if you can try to plan, a NaNoWriMo, or even, cutting NaNoWriMo in half and saying you're going to do a short story month where you only write, half of that, so you write, 25,000 words, or around, I guess that'd be like, 100 pages or whatever, and do like a short story, or even shorter than that. As long as you just continue to write and like kind of focus and set a goal for yourself, I think that would be good for you. I'm having my own little knitting dilemma. I'm almost done with Carol's circle scarf, which is what I showed you yesterday, that gray thing. And I'm having fun with that one because it's an easy pattern to do. It's a very easy stitch. It's very beautiful. It's soft. The next one I'm going to do is going to be with purple wool that you don't see up here. It's in the basket that's in the living room. I was originally going to do cables for it, but I don't want to do cables for it now, and now I'm up in the air again. See, the problem is that I planned everybody's gift out already. I already wrote out all the patterns and everything. As I get to people's gifts, I find that the patterns I wrote out look really great on paper and really great in theory and suck. Either because they're too difficult to do, or they're easy to do but they look like crap, or they're kind of a mixture of both. Or they just are so frustrating that I want to like rip the yarn up. And so I have an idea of what I want to do for hers. One of them involves having to get more yarn, which I'm not hugely thrilled with because that means having more crap in my stash. And while it's cool having a lot of yarn, I don't want to be one of those people that has like a wall of yarn, because that means that I'll never know what to do with all of it. I mean, I already have yarn in this stash. This yarn right here, I've had since high school. Obviously, I haven't figured out what the hell I'm going to do with it. It was supposed to be a scarf. As you can tell, it's still a skein of yarn. I have tons of this homespun stuff from Lionheart that I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I made a blanket with it, and then I lost the blanket because it got destroyed, and I think it's still at the Euclid apartment basement if they didn't throw it away. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I have all of this yarn. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. So I don't want to like add a whole bunch more remnant yarn that I don't know what I'm going to do with. So yeah, I'll figure it out though. I might do like a tight lace for her or something, although I don't really want to do another lace project right in a row. But I'll figure it out. Do you have any suggestions? What would you do? I mean, I don't want to do just a simple garter stitch or, you know, it's just like a plain scarf and whatnot, but I don't really know. Do you have any ideas? Anything at all? I like hearing Murray. I didn't see him. It was too dark in the room, but I like that he was around. And I also like that I got to hear Milo. I haven't actually seen Milo outside of pictures. Maybe in the next video you could like grab Milo and be like, Milo, say hi, and put him in the video. Just an idea. I'm gonna let you go now. I was able to get it done in under 7 minutes. So remember, 8 minutes is the mark. Anything longer than 8 minutes, redo it. I love you, and I'll talk to you soon.